Welcome to Unveiled Living. My name is Tracee and I wanted to share with you the backstory of why Unveiled Living and why we want to share this with you. Back in 1998, I was a pastor's wife and I had two little kids. I had done a lot of worship, but I had never spoken in my life. And a pastor's wife came to me asking if I would speak at a women's retreat at their church. As terrified as I was, and I was only like 28 years old, I agreed to do it. I got there and I led worship, and it was a beautiful time with the Lord and the ladies there. And then it was time to speak. And thankfully, the comedy came out. I was able to make these women laugh. But then it came to a point where I knew I had to get to the heart of the message that I knew the Lord wanted me to share. Never in my life had I ever said these words, but in that moment I said, and now I want to remove the veil from my face, and I want you to see what I'm really going through. Because you see, I was laughing, I was being goofy, I was just being silly as I was just sharing things from my life. But little did these women know that I didn't even have enough groceries to pay for food for my family. Every single week, I had to literally ask the Lord to do a miracle because I had undergone 2 major surgeries and I did not have insurance at the time. And so it put my family in dire debt. So we were upside down every single month for an entire year, so much so that one day I went to the grocery store. I was walking down the aisles and all I had was $10 for a family of 4, and that was supposed to last me one entire week. And I remember going through, and thankfully at the time you could buy 4 loaves of bread for $1. You could get 3 packages of hot dogs for $1. And I'm going through, but while I was going through and looking at everybody else's carts and actually feeling envy for them because I didn't have a full cart of groceries. But I prayed in that moment and I said, Lord, you know my family needs food. So Father, I pray that you would lay it on someone's heart to bring us groceries. Guess what? At the same time I was at Walmart, so was someone else. And that person had been called by God to get us groceries. She happened to beat me home before I got there. And by the time I got to my house, there was $100 worth of groceries sitting on my dining room table, down to the very items that I loved. That is how good God is. So I shared with them in that moment what I really was going through. But you know what? God provided. And for an entire year, that same family bought our groceries every other week for a year until God completely erased our debt. Since then, I've been through a whole lot more. As you heard me say, I said I was a pastor's wife. I'm not any longer. I am an ex-pastor's wife and I have gone through a divorce. And I'll share that story at another time in a different place. But right now, what I want you to know and what I want you to be inspired is that no matter what you're going through in your life, you don't have to be afraid to feel like I'm alone and nobody understands where I'm at. I've learned in my journey, I'm not alone. There are so many of us that share the same story, different people, but it's the same story. And I feel like the enemy has wanted us to stay quiet and don't talk about it. But no, that's not what God's word says. He says that when we live our lives unveiled, then we are set free. And that's what Unveiled Living is all about, to live our lives in freedom. I want to close with this particular verse, and it's Unveiled Living's verse. This is what we stand on, and this is what we believe. And this is what it says. But whenever someone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. For the Lord is the Spirit, and wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. So all of us who have had that veil removed can see and reflect the glory of the Lord. And the Lord, who is the Spirit, makes us more and more like Him as we are changed into His glorious image. 2 Corinthians 3:16 through 18, and that's the New Living Translation. That is the purpose of Unveiled Living. We're not going to hide, we're not going to close, and we're not going to not share our stories, because you know what? Our stories might be another woman's survival guide. They might need the inspiration. They might need to be encouraged. They might be in a place that I was at 9 years ago when I wasn't even sure if I wanted to live anymore, going through the darkest season of my life. But you know what? God was there and He was faithful, and He wants you to know that too. He's faithful. He sees all of your tears. He sees your joyful moments and He sees your difficult moments. He is there for you. So we are going to stand together as women, as a sisterhood. We're going to stand stronger and we're going to be better together. What we are going to be bringing to you in the months to come, I really believe is going to be a beautiful blessing in your life to bring some inspiration to wherever you might be in this point in your life. So continue to keep your eye here on our page on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and at unveiledliving.org on the website. We are so excited to be a part of your life. Thank you for welcoming us into your lives. Share this with your friends because we're going to enjoy this journey together.